Hey, welcome back, guys. I'm Andre Thompson, privileged bow hunter. I'm going to tell you guys why I believe most beginners should be shooting mechanical broadheads. Yes, you know I love fixed blades, and that's what I primarily shoot. But if you are a beginner, I'm going to tell you why you should be shooting this over this. So stay tuned. Before we get into the video, though, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit all, so you'll be notified every time we drop, and then also hit the like button. It costs you $0 to hit the like button, but it does everything for us and the algorithm. Let's go. I believe that if you're a beginner, you're going to tend to miss towards the guts more. When you get a bow and you start practicing and you start shooting, you're shooting at the center of a target on a big, huge bell. And then when that animal steps out, right, you've hunt after hunt after hunt, you didn't see anything, or you had missed opportunity after missed opportunity, animal's finally out in front of you guys. You tend to aim at the whole body. At least I felt like that was my experience starting off, aiming at the whole body, which means you're gonna err towards the guts, right? If you're hitting towards center of the body, you're close to that, to that gut intestine area. And a bigger, huge slap cut is going to help you if you miss towards the guts. It's just a fact. Plus with that, how mechanicals tend to make like this weird slap cut to make ridiculously long gashes in the animal. Any bit of blood, extra blood that you can put down on the ground is going to help you. Number two reason why I believe if you're a beginner, you should be shooting mechanicals. Beginners, let's just face it, the first thing that walks out in the woods, if it's brown, it's probably gonna be down for you. So you don't necessarily need a ridiculous amount of penetration, right? You don't necessarily need a ranch fairy style arrow to shoot something that's 70 pounds, right? That first pig that comes out, if you're hunting in Hawaii, it's probably not gonna be a very big pig. So you don't need all that penetration. And if you're hunting in places where we hunt, it's muddy, it's wet. So any blood that you put on the ground is immediately getting absorbed into the abyss, into the unknown. So the more blood that you can dump on the ground is gonna be much, much easier. I remember when my wife shot a pig maybe 2 years ago, and she shot that pig. It was a clean pass through. She put a decent shot on him, but it rained immediately, and we could not find any blood. And there's so many tracks all around because the pigs were there, day after day after day. We never found that pig just because there wasn't enough blood on the ground, right? We saw the direction that it went, and we just weren't able to find it. So you don't need a whole bunch of penetration if you're new, because chances are you probably didn't stalk in that well. Your first animal is probably one of the dumber animals, probably not one of those mature, bigger bucks or bigger boars out here in the woods. Number three reason is beginners, you guys apply a bunch of hand torque. Most weekends I'm tuning bows in my garage. To get folks to just put a consistent shot through paper is like the bane of my existence when I'm trying to tune somebody's bow who's brand new. They'll just shot to shot, I can see through paper the hand torque that they're putting on the bow or the face pressure that they're putting with the string. All those things are affecting that arrow flight, right? And if it's affecting the arrow flight through paper, when you put that big broadhead on the end, it is going to affect it. So essentially, when you are torquing your bow, your bow is out of tune. And we all know that fixed blades won't fly well if they're out of tune. That's why we always make fun of, if you look through the forums right now, and somebody says, hey, I'm shooting mechanicals because they fly better, all the comments underneath it is gonna say, well, if you had a well-tuned bow, then you won't have that problem. Well, let's face it, guys, they're beginner. They're in 6 months, 1 year, if that, to shooting their bow. They're going to have hand torque. Their hand's gonna be tired. They're gonna grip the bow too much. They're gonna relax too much. They're gonna be up with their shoulder, down with their shoulder, up with this elbow, down with their elbow. Trying to bury that anchor point right way into their face, causing string pressure. So then when they shoot, the string comes out and then back around. That's in the perfect environment. Then not to mention get them in the saddle or get them on one knee, and then they've been sitting there in that staring contest with an animal for all of this time. All of that to say, if they had a well-tuned bow, but they shot a mechanical broadhead, they're gonna get some more forgiveness out of their flight, which means they got a better chance at hitting where they're trying to aim, which lends to more recoveries, and then more recoveries should lend to more confidence, and then we can kind of fly off the deep end with some fixed blades. Okay, so torque is a real issue that I know that these new bow hunters deal with, because I dealt with it, trying to bare shaft tune and knock tune and broadhead tune. That's kind of the nightmare. That's why some of the bow shops, they will just tune the bow with their hand or with a hooter shooter and then say, hey, new bow shooter, as you get better with your form and archery, then we can kind of readjust it to your hand when you can do something consistent. Another reason why you should be shooting mechanicals if you're a beginner, well, at least this mechanical if you're a beginner, is the sever, right? You should be shooting it because of that set screw. So you can lock those blades closed with a set screw and be able to shoot shot after shot after shot into your target and build confidence. And you're building that confidence without tearing up your target. You're new into this, so you've already spent a boatload of money, that entry level stuff. You got your bow, you got arrows, you got broadheads, you got a target, you got hunting gear, you got camo, you got this, you got that. You spent a bunch of money. Last thing you need to do is to be tearing up your target, shooting shot after shot after shot, trying to figure out your fixed blades, when you can just go with your mechanical, lock in that pivot screw, and it's gonna do no more damage to your target than your regular field points were. Now you got confidence in your equipment and your money is lasting a little bit longer. The next thing, right, the next reason why I believe beginners should be shooting mechanicals is, quite simply, mechanicals are gonna fly better in the wind, right? You can't tell me on one end you wanna shoot micro diameter arrows because of, flight characteristics and wind, but then you're gonna say that fixed blades are gonna fly well in wind. It doesn't make sense. The fixed blade is a big rudder on the front of your arrow. It's just like putting your hand out the window and your hand getting caught. So if you're torquing the bow, or got anything weird going on with your form, you're already starting that rudder off like this. That rudder is gonna catch the wind, which means it's gonna be diverted in flight, and the beginner's not gonna be really understanding why they are missing. It's gonna hurt their confidence. So for all of those reasons, I think beginners should stick to mechanicals, because the goal is to get these folks into the woods, get their first animal down, and get addicted to hunting, right? Either way it goes, let's tell the truth below in the comments. They're going to lose an animal, right? I think there is more opportunity to miss towards the back than there is towards the front. I do love iron wheel wides, and I believe if you miss to the back with a big iron wheel wide, you'll be just as good as I think you'll be just as good as a mechanical. However, I think just due to the fact that you got form issues and your flight characteristics might not be the best because of how you grip the bow, mechanical is the way to go. Let's get them in the woods. Let's get them confident. Let's get some blood on the ground so that they can actually find the animal that they hit, and then we can move on. So leading me to my next point, I think the more experienced hunters should be shooting fixed blade broadheads. Okay, I think we are more apt to hit the spot that we're aiming at. And if we're more apt to hit the spot that we're aiming at, we'll probably miss into the heavier bone. This is just how the logic makes sense in my head. You let me know in the comments how it makes sense to you. So if you tend to miss towards the bone, you're gonna need a little bit, or miss towards the shoulder, you're gonna need more penetration. And I think fixed blade is gonna be for you. You're a little bit cooler and calmer under that pressure. So you got your mantra, hand level, bubble, pick a spot to make them drop. That's what I say. Whatever it is in you. So you're staying in your closed loop system like Joel Turner teaches. Oh my gosh. You're probably gonna hit where you're aiming, which means shoulder blade is going to be there and you're gonna need to punch through it. You as a more experienced hunter won't have a problem with sharpening your broadheads. I shoot iron wheel wides and I sharpen them. It's almost a hobby to get them back shaving sharp, right? And to take little patches of hair off of my arms. But a beginner needs to figure out what a topo map is. They need to be able to find out, they're trying to figure out what thermals are and what they do in the morning and what they do in the evening and what good entryways in and exit pathways are. They're trying to figure out how to one stick and how to, or if they should one stick or SRT, if they should have four sticks, should they use a Mad Rock or should they use the ATC? They got so much to learn and deal with. they shouldn't really be out there spending a bunch of time trying to sharpen some broadheads. They need to spend more time on target out there hunting. And I think something with better flight characteristics, straight out of the box without a whole bunch of work, and a lot more forgiveness is really what they need to lean towards. You guys let me know in the comments what you guys think. This is what makes sense in my mind. I am not an ideologue. When new information presents itself, I have no problem with shifting my opinion. So I believe in fixed blades. That's what I shoot, especially 50 yards and in. I do keep severs in my quiver, but that's just me, right? The severs are for longer range. Now, I do say this, all mechanicals are not created equal. I do not believe a beginner should just go and grab a random package of mechanicals and go shoot. I am not shooting a mechanical that is not steel or titanium construction on the ferrule. So if it's aluminum ferrule, I'm not shooting it. I hope Beast Broadheads, Bowmar comes out with a steel version, because aluminum, I just had bad luck with these big pigs out here with that aluminum ferrule crumpling on impact. I'm not gonna mention any brand names, but just know that doesn't work for me. So if Bowmar comes out with a steel construction ferrule for his mechanicals, I will probably give those a try. But until then, I'm gonna keep rolling with my severs and my iron wheels for my perfect golf bag. Let me know what your experiences are below in the comments on fixed or mechanicals or what you believe. If you completely disagree with everything I said, tell me below in the comments. Don't forget to tell your friends about the channel. If you don't know how to spell it by now, it's Privileged. I know you know how to spell bow hunter. We love y'all. Peace.